Kenyan Drake has the potential to be a top 5 to 10 running back in 2020 fantasy football. The question is, will DJ still be there? Will Chase Edmonds get the ball? Let's get into it. Kenyan Drake talk. Top 5 running back.
You're watching the Fantasy Football Show.
This is going to be a hot topic all offseason long. Maybe if the Cardinals cut David Johnson, then it won't be. Then Kenyan Drake will vault into probably the bottom of the first round. But for now, he's going to probably be a third round, fourth round type of conversation until we find out more with that Cardinals rushing attack, or they support Drake publicly and say he's our number one running back. Look at Chris Godwin. I had Chris Godwin as one of those 5 to 7 round breakout candidates that no one's gonna see coming, and then the Bucks come out and say in the middle of the offseason he's gonna catch 100 balls. Then Chris Godwin went from 6 to 7 round ADP to the third round. Anything can happen when a coach opens his mouth, for the good or bad of the player. But for right now, Drake is going to be cemented into third, fourth, fifth round value. I don't know. We'll see where ADPs shake out, but don't be shocked if it is in the third. Any buzz at all could jump him right up into the second in a DJ release or trade or whatever. I don't know that anybody would take him on, and I don't know if they can even afford to cut him. Computer, what happens if the Cardinals cut David Johnson?
But big things are expected from him again in 2019.
Computer, would anybody draft David Johnson number 1 overall? When taking a look at Drake's yards per rush in the last 3 games, 6.2, 6.9, 5.0. He had 22 carries in week 15 for 137 and 4 TDs. He had the next week in week 16, 24 carries for 166 and 2 TDs. He also had in those games 1 reception for 9 yards, 3 receptions for 18. The guy is capable of 4 or 5 receptions a game. He could have one of those like 10 reception games that some running backs have. So I think the important takeaway here is that not only if they use him will he be a 1,000-yard rusher, 1,200-yard rusher in 2020. Give him 10 to 1,200 yards rushing. He could be a 1,000-yard even guy and a ton of receptions and receiving yards and TDs. He only had 33 receptions in 2019. He could be a 60, 65 reception running back. He will have equal value in both the rushing and passing attack, and he could easily split his stats down the middle. He's that kind of running back. He's Alvin Kamara-like. So probably better to talk about total yards, and I think that 15 to 1,700 total yards if he starts 16 games is not out of the question. 12 plus total TDs. You're looking at a top 5 to 10 running back. Now, where you draft him is the important part here. If you have to take him in the first round, then he's going to hold a lot of risk, because we've never seen him deliver on 16 straight starts, getting 12 to 15 carries a game, getting 3 or 4 receptions a game for 16 straight games. There will be plenty of risk if he vaults into the first round with some kind of David Johnson release or trade. Now, if he climbs into the second round range, especially the bottom of the second, he'll have a little risk, but he'll have way more reward still, even in the second round. Now, when you're talking third and especially fourth round value, especially anything later, but probably his ADP will be in the third or fourth round, you're talking about way more upside than risk. I love Kenyan Drake right now in Dynasty. Go trade for him while you still can. And in redraft, we're at the mercy of the news and how the ADP is going to change heading into August. You might not in redraft be able to take advantage of the value we're staring at right now. But in Dynasty leagues, you can take advantage now. Go get Kenyan Drake. He's going to be an absolute monster if the Cardinals lean on him, like I think they will. And I feel like they're telegraphing what's going to take place in 2020. I better have Drake in at least 3 or 4 of my 10 plus leagues I'm going to do in 2020. What's going on? I'm Smitty from SleeperU.com. Thanks for coming by and checking out the site. If you want your league mates to be like, how the hell did you know about that player? Then you want SleeperU.com. We're bold and ahead of the curve. One of, I think, the bigger breakout candidates for 2019 is Chris Godwin. I think you could be looking at a string of games where Godwin's actually leaned on as the team's wide receiver 1. I've been dropping bold predictions for over 16 years on CBS Sports Radio and NBC Sports Radio. Dalvin Cook and Aaron Jones were on my top 10 bold predictions last year. The year before that, Pat Mahomes was number 1. Alvin Kamara the year before that. The list goes on and on, all the way back to Arian Foster.
Arian Foster, he's a guy we've been recommending people reach for in the 4th and 5th round in most drafts. I see nothing but big things for this guy, and he's my monster breakout prediction for 2010.
Jimmy Graham, Antonio Brown. The site's loaded with rankings, redraft, rookie, dynasty, super rookie rankings, which have the rookies and sophomores only. Those are super popular on the site. The rankings are drag and drop, and you can redline them out when a player's been drafted. Trade calculators, mock draft simulators, all redraft, dynasty, and rookie capable. You can even add keepers into the draft simulator. A draft board that you can follow along with your draft and redline players out. Tons of articles, all bold. Dynasty, redraft content. We are hardcore dynasty, but everything I attack from a redraft and a dynasty angle, so you get the best of both worlds in your content. Revamp player pages, which are going to be off the hook in 2020. And one-on-one advice with me where we can correspond back and forth all year, so you pick up the right players, make the right trades, make the right starts. And the price points for the products are very simple. I've got 2 price points. All the content with one-on-one advice, all the content without the one-on-one advice. Very simple pricing. And I've added 15-minute phone calls you can buy a la carte where I can dial you up and we can talk about whatever you want. Woo! I'm excited about that. It's a brand new feature. I hope you become a part of this family because we really are a close-knit family here at sleeperu.com. Thank you for coming by and checking it all out. Let's tear it up in 2020. Let's go.